We welcome you into week 5 of the Mike Turner Show. Carson-Newman triumphant at home, 31-18 over the number 23 team in the country, the Catawba College Catawba Indians. Hello, everyone. I'm the voice of the Eagles Adam Cavalier alongside Carson-Newman head football coach Mike Turner. Mike, what a way to wrap up the month of September at home. Without question, the best performance of the season. Dominate the Indians defensively and outside of 2 possessions. Limit them to 149 yards of total offense over the course of 49 plays, while the offense does Carson-Newman things. Pounds out 333 yards rushing on the league's top defense in terms of points allowed and total yards allowed. How do you sum up a Week 5 victory over the Indians?
Well, hopefully it's a culmination of the last 2 weeks and this one getting it done right. So proud of them, the way they responded. You lose 2 games by 2 snaps, maybe. Mm-hmm. It's a place where you have to take on a little adversity, and how are you going to handle adversity? And I think our football team, showed folks how we're going to handle adversity. Not going to let it affect us. We're going to handle it like a man and grow from it, get stronger from it, and they did that. And again, as they played just about the whole time this season, they played hard. They played together, they played excited, and played like they had a good time doing it.
How much more meaningful is this game based off what you went through the previous 2 weeks with the heartbreak there?
Oh, I think it's very fulfilling in that part, and that you come out, you're here in this room with a whole football team around you, and you've been right there the 2 weeks before. You got a touchdown lead. You're getting ready to go out from halftime, and how does your team respond? And they responded great. We took it down the field and scored a touchdown. Defense came back out and got them off the field. Just so proud of their effort, and proud that they, we talked to them about faith, and it talks about in Hebrews about faith, about things that are unseen. And then talked to them Saturday about, but God allows you to have the eyes that you can see what other humans can't see, and that you got a little faith, but you got a little vision about what's down the road. And thank goodness our kids got hold of that Saturday and played like that, and then, gosh, they played like they were undefeated. And in my eyes, they are.
Pretty good Sunday school lessons for you the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, they've pretty much been on point. They sure have been.
You look at what the offense did. You go 2 tight ends. I felt like pretty much the entirety of the game, maybe 5 snaps where you weren't in a double tight end set. What was the impetus for a look that we haven't seen a whole lot of this season?
Well, we wanted to try to balance them out. And gosh, Catawba has a great defense. They got great athletes there. Curtis has always done a great job with that scheme for them. We just wanted to try to balance it up as much as we could. Keep it in a game where we could attack on offense, but also keep them from maybe getting us outnumbered in some places.
Carson-Newman gets the win over the Catawba College Catawba Indians, 31-18. We'll break down the first half after these messages on the Mike Turner Show. Back on the Mike Turner Show as Carson-Newman collects a 31-18 win over the Catawba College Catawba Indians. I'm Adam Cavalier alongside the Eagles head man Mike Turner. Mike, a first half where you come out, you absorb a punch early, Catawba a 75-yard drive to open up the contest, but respond immediately. How big was Derek Evans' 55-yard score?
I think the response right there was that was a make or break. It's a long ball game after one drive. Mm-hmm. But I thought it was very, very urgent that we move the football. Our defense did a great job in that first drive. We gave up a couple big plays, or it's done. So we come back and drive the football and then take control of it and take care of it. And then, we were just running what we do as a base offense, run the option, and again trying to get them balanced up right there and find the numbers in our favor. But yeah, to go put the ball in the end zone right there, it was another lift. It was lifted up the defense. Hey, we're still in this thing. All right, we're back to even.
The defense then responds in kind after that,
right?
With a 3 and out. Just how intense was their effort throughout the day?
Oh, it was very intense. You could feel it on the sideline, and they're playing at a level right now that they don't like giving up a first down. and they know they're doing it as a team, and it's not this guy did this, so that's not it at all. They're doing it as a team, and they take great pride in trying to get those 3 and outs, or they take great pride in turning the ball over. And I want more, and Coach Slade wants more. We want more turnovers. There's no doubt about it.
You look at the turnovers that jump forward a little bit to the second half. Darius Williams with an interception, Jaquan Smith with an interception. How much of that was generated by a continuous, really four-man pass rusher that was pretty much there the entire day?
Yes, and when you can put pressure on with 4, that means your underneath coverage is much better. All right, you have to protect over the top, but if you can rush with 4, you've got linebacker drops in there, and that's where part of those picks. And we probably dropped 1 or 2 more possible interceptions as the second half went along. But I thought the key was a great underneath coverage and then taking care over the top.
In terms of what Montel Presley did, 9 tackles for him on the day, 2.5 tackles for loss, a sack. Hadn't been in the starting lineup, but got the nod on Saturday. What does that say about his persistence, especially responding from an early season injury?
Well, that's great response by him. We have high expectations for him, and he does also. He is one of the strongest young men you can find. He's built like a defensive lineman should be, but he's got great explosion also. So he was due that type of game. It's good for him this time of year, coming off a little nick on the shoulder there, that type of deal. But he was due that kind of game, and I hope that just leaps him forward to even better.
Carson-Newman gets the win over the Catawba College Catawba Indians, 31-18. Eagles led it at the break, 14-7. And we take a gander at those first half highlights.
O'Brien in the gun, Smart to his right. Tight end to the right of the line. Snap back, chest tight, play fake. O'Brien back to pass. Throws left side, bobbled and complete in the backfield. The tight end Osinski, but he's driven down for a loss. Good pursuit by Saheem Stupart back to the 46. Snap back, shoulder height. O'Brien looking to throw, sprints right, caught in the backfield, evades it. Still off of his back foot to the back of the end zone. Jump ball, tipped away, and a diving grab for Henderson, knocked away. But the Indians grab it. Touchdown, Catawba. Eamon Smart off the tip drill. Henderson got a paw on it, knocked it into the air, but Eamon Smart.
Ball field with Loaf Austin on his backside.
2nd and 10 Eagles, middle of the field from the 46. Evans takes, runs the option to the left side. Evans going to keep it himself. Evans with plenty of running room along the left sideline. Inside the 10 and 5, Evans takes it the distance. Touchdown, Carson-Newman. 54 yards on the option keeper for Derek Evans. Oh, what a bonanza. And the Eagles, a PAT away from tying this one up. Indians 2 for 2 on 3rd down so far today. They lead the conference in that stat for the season at 52%. O'Brien in the gun, back to pass. He's spun around and sacked by Jason Cook-Calhoun back at the 3-yard line. Cook-Calhoun straight up the gut, and O'Brien sacked for just the 5th time this season.
Side of the white line.
Eagles 4 for 6 on 4th down so far this season. Catawba's defense only allowed 3 conversions in 8 attempts. Trap to the left side for Salisbury, and Salisbury surges in. Touchdown, Carson-Newman. Dimitri Salisbury, 1 yard on the trap to the left, and the Eagles have the lead on the number 23 team in the country, 13-7. 1st and 10 Indians, ball on the white of the Eagle Head midfield logo at Catawba zone 47. Snap back to O'Brien. Once the bubble screen, it's complete in the backfield, and he is suplexed down is Mobley back at the 45-yard line. Des Farrell, fantastic job with the wrestling finisher. 1st and 10 Indians, middle of the field from the Eagle 31. Shotgun snap back. O'Brien wants the deep ball along the left sideline. One-on-one coverage incomplete. Intended for Mobley. Des Farrell shutting him down with a 2-fisted block of the ball as it was coming in. Mobley, conference's 2nd leading receiver. 1 catch, -2 yards. Forward to check things with the line. 2 wide to the wide side left. Rose to the short side right. Snap back. Hand off Smart right side. Smart hitting the backfield and dropped for a loss by Antonio Henderson back at the 27-yard line. A loss of 2, and it's 4th down and 6 to go for the Indians. 1st and goal From the 3 for the Eagles, Evans takes option keeper to the right, a hop, skip, and a jump, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Carson-Newman. 3 yards for Derek Evans. He finds pay dirt for the 2nd time today and the 6th time this season on the ground. And the Eagles take a 20-7 lead.
Those are the first half highlights. Eagles with a 14-7 lead at the break over the Catawba College Catawba Indians. Mike, halftime locker room, what was the mood? What was the mentality like?
Oh, the mood was great. The kids were excited about the way the ball game was going. Defense felt like, one touchdown, and that was in one drive and a lot of yardage there. Kids were excited. Kids felt good about what we'd been doing on offense and defense, and the kicking game was responding. We just wanted to make sure that we understood how critical it was about the start. Okay, the start, and we felt like we came out and started strong, even though they scored the first drive. We scored with a football. The defense comes back and shuts them down. So, you want that start, and we've had it. All right, we just haven't finished the start. And then Saturday, I think the opening drive, we had the ball and we took it and scored. I thought that was very, very important.
You look at the start of the second half as well. Start strong there. Just a bone-crunching 12 plays, 75-yard drive that takes more than 6 minutes off the clock. You talked about your first drive in the first half being important. How important was that first drive of the second half as well?
I think that had a lot to do with the ball game, period. I think that drive was key. It said something to us. It said something to Catawba. And it goes from a 7-point game to a 2-score game right off the bat. Plus, like you said, you ate up 6+ minutes of the clock.
This is a Catawba team coming into this game. I think the number was something like 54 drives that they had gone through thus far in the season. And opponents had scored on 8 of them. At one point, and only 3 of those drives are longer than 60 yards. Mm-hmm. You have 3 such drives against that defense on Saturday that go for at least 75 yards. What does that say about what your offense was capable of and the consistency which they performed on that day?
I thought they were very consistent, and we knew the kind of defense we were going to play. Those guys are great athletes. All you got to do is look at them. They've been very productive in that defense. Our kids, I thought, they were very, very determined. They were very determined, and we made sure that we were simple and confident in what we were trying to execute so that they could turn loose even more. It's about just getting up there and getting ready to go and turn it loose in every position on offense.
Carson-Newman gets the win over the Catawba College Catawba Indians. We'll take a further look at the second half after these messages on The Mike Turner Show. Back on The Mike Turner Show as the Eagles chalk up a 31-18 victory over the number 23 team in the country, the Catawba College Catawba Indians. I'm Adam Cavalier alongside the Eagles head man Mike Turner. Mike, we touched on the ground game and going 2 tight ends, but what about the effort of the running backs? Jared Dillingham, a career-high 145 yards. Dimitri Salisbury, more than doubles his season output, does the Camden County product with an 85-yard rushing day. What about the effort of those 2 guys?
Oh, it was outstanding, and their heart. We talked in the pregame about an athlete's heart. An athlete's heart's always bigger in most cases, and we needed them to open their heart out and open their heart up and be open with that and pour it out. And gosh, that's 2 great examples of that right there. They probably overachieved as much yesterday as anybody could ask of anybody, and I've always thought if anybody could ever say you were overachiever, then man, what a great success story that is.
Man, Jared Dillingham, he's not one of the fleetest foot guys on the team, but speed to burn on a 65-yard touchdown run. Absolutely. And the dive finally goes for the big play.
Yes. And it was great to just be consistent in what we were doing on offense, to just get up and execute, Make sure you're at the right aiming point, make sure you've got the right read, make sure you got a great pocket. And it's a simple little world, Adam. It doesn't have to be difficult.
So Mike Turner, pearl of wisdom there. Felt like the offensive line came of age in this game.
They did. They are growing up, and it is a work in progress. Those are getting to be some tough kids. They've got a toughness about them, about their heart. They're getting to be more hard-nosed, and they're getting to be more accountable. That's a tough position, brother. It's especially when you're playing with some youth in there. And you've got to make calls, you've got to make adjustments, even though it is very, very simple. You have to recognize, and you've got to be on your toes. You've got to be alert. And if we're going at a tempo like we were going at, you don't have any time to rest and suck air. You've got to be intense about what you're looking at and go after people. And I was very, very proud of them yesterday. And we got, like I said, we got a long way to go. We got to get better. We got to get better in a hurry. But I know this: winning helps you get better.
Eagles get the job done in the second half and collect a 31-18 win over Catawba College. We take a look at those second half highlights.
Marks out a hard count. Now he points to the far sideline for a play change. Snap back, waist tight. Throws quickly. Rose complete, but Saheem Stupart is there with the lumber. And Rose pays for the 4 yards that he gains down to the 42-yard line. Their own 35-yard line. Evans takes, dive, left of center to Dillingham. Dillingham into the second level. The senior with the wheels, inside the 10. House call, touchdown, Carson-Newman. The Eagles rip the dive for 65 yards for Jared Dillingham. A career long run, and it's a 27-10 lead for the Eagles over the 23rd ranked team in the country. And a lone man to the short side left. Snap back, waist tight for O'Brien. Runs to the left, back to the right, pressured by Presley, and Presley high-stepping his way after he picks up the QB sack. O'Brien knocked down, back at the 12, a loss of 17. Hello, 3 and out. O'Brien in the gun, Green to his right. Trips go to the wide side left. O'Brien back to pass. Throws over the middle of the field. A leaping snag. Did he haul it in? Yes, he did. An interception for the sophomore safety out of St. Petersburg, Florida. On a turnover, the first of the day. Just the second pick O'Brien has thrown. Williams with an athletic play to pick it off at the 40 in Carson-Newman territory. For the UNC P-Train. Takes the snap, waist tight. O'Brien steps up to the right, now throws, middle of the field, over to the top of everybody, and Jaquan Smith is there to pick it off. The second pick of the game for the Eagles secondary. The Alabama native grabs it and falls to the turf up at the 42-yard line.
Want to give Catawba a chance to block one and maybe take it back.
The Eagles by 10, looking to extend it. Snap back, hold down, Holbert's kick. Has the leg. Does it have the line? Yes, it does. A career-long 47-yard boot from Elijah Holbert makes this a 13-point game. 31-18 Eagles with 87 seconds left. Final seconds will run off the clock. Eagles avoid an 0-3 start for the second time streak of the South Atlantic Conference. And in the process, collect a 31-18 victory over the 23rd ranked team in the country. Final horn sounds, and Carson-Newman wins 31-18.
Those are the second half highlights as the Eagles collect a 31-18 win over Catawba College's Catawba Indians. We return on the Mike Turner Show. It's time for the Eagles Spotlight. That's when we return after these messages. Back on the Mike Turner Show for Week 5 as Carson-Newman charges to a 31-18 win over Catawba, the number 23 team in the country. Time now for our Eagles Spotlight, and this week, Michael Watrang shines it on Jared Dillingham.
Patience is a value that's difficult to develop for anyone, especially a college athlete. For senior running back Jared Dillingham, waiting his turn to be the featured ball carrier for Carson-Newman was a mix of hard work and the Bible.
The Lord talks about a lot, humble yourselves under the mighty hand of God, that He exalts you in due time. So I think it's just being patient. It's hard at times, but knowing that the coaches are evaluating whether you're at, and they're going to put you out there when they think it's your time. So I think it's being patient in that.
Despite injuries in the backfield for the Eagles, Dillingham has been a steady force in 2017. Running backs coach Mike Clowney believes Dillingham earned his spot on offense because of his willingness to play special teams.
All of our guys that are top 2 groups at running back are still all on special teams. And, you know, they automatically went into telling the younger guys, like, man, look, sometimes you just have to get started. You know, it doesn't matter where you get started, it doesn't matter how you get started. Your first phase is to get on the field. Once you get on the field, you make the most of it, and then that's where your other opportunities come up, because the coaches learn to trust you, your teammates learn to trust you. They see you in stressful situations and see you succeed, so it's not as big a deal to put you in that highlight spot later on down the road.
As the team's leading rusher and ball carrier, Dillingham is embracing a leadership role in the offense and the film room. Calling the plays, head coach Mike Turner has found his consistent option.
Well, Jared has always been a steady performer. You never worried about putting Jared Dillingham in the game. Number one, he's going to give you maximum effort. Nobody's going to play harder than he does. He's going to be a smart, heady player. He knows exactly what the assignments are. He's a guy that around a bunch of young guys can be a great teacher and coach and encourager to them, okay, to keep them lifted up.
With more than a half a season to go, Clowney has the utmost confidence in Dillingham's ability as a Clemson, South Carolina native angles to maximize his opportunity.
You know, he just needs to go, continue to do the things that he's been coached to do day in and day out. You know, there's really not a stressful situation because this is what he's prepared for the last 4 years. You know, we've known the whole time that we felt like he could be a good back for us. It's just now he's getting a shot to do it.
Football has been a great classroom for life for many Eagles over the years. While the road was not always smooth, Dillingham has taken the bumps and is applying what he learned off of the gridiron.
I think that's the cool thing about this program is just being able to apply football and Carson-Newman experience to life. I think that's what a big thing Coach Sparks has taught us and Coach Turner's teaching us right now is just understanding how we can apply football to our everyday lives with things such as like being behind in the depth chart and knowing how having to like push yourself and grind every single day to make it where you want to be. It could be with the job experience. And I'm going into physical therapy, so it might be that I don't have the job I want right away, but just to keep pushing to get where I want to be in the future.
For 3 years, Dillingham sat back awaiting his time in the spotlight. Persistence has been rewarded in 2017 with additional touches, but the ultimate payoff is a lesson greater than football that will keep providing in the future. For the Mike Turner Show, I'm Michael Wattrang.
All right, thank you very much, Michael Wattrang, Mike Turner, Jared Dillingham. What a guy, what a deserving guy. Especially, we do these things midweek, but right. What great timing to go out and rush for 145 yards.
Well, I need to check with you next week and see what we got planned. But yeah, what a great job by Jared, and what a great example of faith, being a great teammate through the years, biding your time, never being selfish about things. Always willing to help out, always wanted to help a teammate. I told his folks early in the season, man, what a great job they've done raising him up, and he's a great example for our program.
Turn your attention now to a 2-game road trip. Head to Gaffney to play the Limestone Saints and Mike Furry's bunch. What a wild one! 2 overtime win on Saturday over the Mars Hill Lions, 56-49 on top of the mountain. What sticks out to you about the Saints this year?
Well, I know when Coach Furry came in, that he got things turned around in a hurry. A lot of things changed within that program. I know what he's doing this year. I've just had a chance to, not see video, but just glance at scores and things. And right now they're sitting atop the league. And I haven't had time to watch that video yet with Mars Hill. I'll watch it this afternoon. But you put 55 points on the board, it doesn't matter how many overtimes it takes. That's a lot of points. 52 points, that's a lot of points to score. And so it'll be a challenge. We're going down there at the reservation to play. And, a 6 o'clock game. That's a little out of whack for us. But we've got a schedule made up of times of when we're leaving and when we're going to get there and those kind of things. But our kids after this week should be, frothing at the mouth to get ready to play again.
Mike, pleasure as always. Congrats on the win.
Adam, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
That's Carson-Newman head football coach Mike Turner. I'm the voice of the Eagles Adam Cavalier. This has been the Mike Turner Show. Thanks for watching.